adversity, taking the L against Lucas, but since then has been great, defeating the two-time world champion Mugi. Now a 2-0 victory over SandBox, and now just has to wait and see if he can make more magic happen against two legends in the game, as we're going to turn our...
I'd have put Mugi and Mohamed Light as my number one, just because they have the World Finals. But as a close number two, I have, of course, Mohamed Light and Lucas. Both of these players so talented, such good friends. Both of them work with so many different members of the community, and so many of them just help the community grow.
Is that the one person who really has done a... RG at the bridge immediately.
Skeleton Dragons only going to lock on to two of the Goblins, so this tower is going to be almost taken out completely. With the help of the Lumberjack, it's going to stay just a little and be able to gain that elixir that you need. Lucas should be placing it down, and there we go. Golem. First Golem probably of the tournament, probably of the year.
Now he's got a Battle Healer, a Golem, an Evo Lumberjack, an Evo Electro Dragon. That Monk's not going to do anything to reflect here. And the Evo does die on the Electro Dragon. Golem drops. Lumberjack trying to make more happen, and now Lucas just trying to pile on the...
The E-Drag ended up getting taken out pretty easily. And you just know that Mo is too smart. He's going to place a troop that's going to redirect how your other troops look.
Those pieces. And I'm very curious. And I love, man, this feels like a bit of a throwback here, but getting a chance to see, I think it's our first giant skeleton of the day.
Yeah, and right here, Luke
up at the top. This mortar gonna have to get picked up by the guards from Mohamed. And Evo drill in. And starting to chip away and open up the lead is Mohamed Light, 15-56. Luke
was always putting in work, but this is a pretty big push. One of the Goblins on top of the tower striking away and again locking on, and again another shot. Lucas finally taking the lead, and Mohamed
drill in for Mohamed Light. Bar barrel to pick up. Two mortars on the board. NATO for Mo trying to make enough room for damage. Not quite enough to take the lead. Fireball down, perfectly timed. Gonna get a ton of skeleton damage, and Lucas ties things up in game number 2.
Beautiful offensive pressure the entire game from Lucas. Had multiple mortars up.
And this time Spirit Empress gonna set up with the miner in front.
Delivery coming in on the right side. Wasn't sure if it was going to be placed on the left or the right. And this is where Mohamed Light is finally getting his first big push. Another Spirit Empress, and that's going to stop the Ram Rider before it can even get to the tower. Ice Spirit needs to come down. No Ice Spirit.
Oh no. And coming in like the oven that you left on and completely scorching that right-hand tower. And I was looking at that going, man, he's really needs to figure out something here in the middle. And
you need it stronger and just easier decks in your repertoire.
RG with a Monk Reflection. And let's see if it can get past the DPS with the Rage. Doesn't do it. Lucas maybe overspending here, as he'll have to use these archers to try to clean up. Miner goes to the back. Berserker goes to the left. And there are problems all over the board for Lucas.
Yeah, and right there, I think Lucas is trying to activate the king, but I'm pretty sure that interaction, you need to put the... Yeah, right here, Lucas doing what he can. Going to go in with the RG on the right side, but the problem is the Evo Ice Spirit, when that is in cycle, your push is gone. It doesn't matter what you have crossing the bridge. There's just no way it's going to be able to make it.
And just chipping away, and you talk about some of the traits that make Mohamed Light the greatest to ever do it. Patience is certainly one of them, right? You see he knows he has plenty of room, can give up a couple chip value, and here he gets a whole lot of extra out of that Ice Whiz plus the poison on the mark.
Yeah, and right here going in with the log as well. Fisherman not able to yank. That's going to be another poison down on top of the tower. Probably doesn't even need the log. Probably going to get the log in time. And there we go. Mo Light taking game number 4, 3-1 overall, and having some fun.
So Either way, and you look at the same thing against the Ian matchup, Ian didn't do anything super outside the box, and neither did Sub. So I'm really curious about how this plays out with Lucas. We've seen already that he's willing to go outside the box in these best of fives, and how does Sub react to that as we go?
A lot of the players are a little bit more cautious. They're unwilling to take the risks because they don't recognize if you have a month to make it, you have to make it. You're not going to get a
game, so go ahead and get him. And Lucas starting to set up. Cannon will pick up the battle ram.
Getting the right tower down just a little bit and still has his towers untouched.
So interesting here. This is, I think, the exact same deck that Sub ran in game number 1 against V, looking piece by piece. And yeah, this is the same deck, same Evos. And I'm curious if Lucas and his team are going to recognize that. This was a situation where Vitor won game 1 in that matchup, also playing a Golden Knight in that deck, but kind of almost exactly the same notes as Battle Ram down. Its evolved form, Cannon Cart behind. Zap clears, Ghost clears. One touch. Barb's trying to connect. Cannon Cart giving support here. King Tower. I can't imagine so. 90 seconds left, and now the pressure starting to build here as Lucas starts to go all in at the bridge. Evo Valk looking to cover the heal spirit. Keeps things alive for a moment. And will this curse turn into success? And it does. Boss Bandit gets on tower, and Sub just backs up and goes, all right, you got me. And he finds himself in back-to-back months using this exact same deck and dropping game 1 to bridge spam. With the skeleton, or with the guards as opposed to skeletons. So switching things up here as Lucas goes Lava Void. Not on my bingo card for this one.
Yeah, same here. And right now, the Mighty Miner getting a ton of value. Was able to stop the Electro Dragon for a minute, allowing the Tesla to put in work, and then also takes out a lot of the Valve. Question is, how does Sub want to defend this? Could go in with another Mighty Miner? No. Okay, is able to get back to the Tesla. Was thinking that he wanted to go in with a Mighty Miner and pop the ability, but the Tesla, Spirit Empress, I mean, yeah, the Empress doing a great job of taking everything out, and Sub going to be struggling quite a bit right here. Going to retarget to the Tesla, so that Loon is going to put in some work. I would love to see Prediction Arrows, not going to see it because of the Mighty Miner on defense. And that's still just a great response from Sub. I mean, out another one of those firecrackers.
This will be good damage here. This will be good damage here from Sub, but it's an elixir, and this feels like, Josh, it might be the push that things change on. Inferno Dragon might be in its evolved form for this push. Loon gets behind the lava. That Tesla been on the board for quite a while here, and here we go. Evolved Inferno behind. Mighty Miner goes for its bomb, but with this Void trying to do some clearing and great job protecting, Firecracker stays up.
Again, Sub, beautiful defense.
And the Mighty Miner chewing up a lot of those daggers, forces guards to get involved. And now Lucas going 2 lanes. Tesla should be able to get back. Gonna go ahead and defend with the Firecracker. Tesla misses, and that drop suddenly changes things up a little bit.
Going in with a Mighty Miner at the bridge. Empress plus guards able to take out a lot of the hop, but it might no. This might just power down. Oh, it is.
Wow.
Lucas cannot stop the hog. Trying to set himself up for double or triple elixir. And now this is really where it starts to get scary for Lucas. It's going to require beautiful defense, and Sub already has another RG. This time it's going to be the Evo RG, so Lucas struggling for this defense.
And it uses the Evo Snowball to give himself some room and a bit of a reset. Time to get back to a Tesla, and he does. The Evo Tesla with its stun.
Lucas, and yet Sub still has the lead.
And the Bomber trying to clear some room, and just like that, Lucas opens it up. 1898 on the right-hand side. And you know, one thing, Josh, when you look at at Sub's deck, as these drills become more frequent, he does have some potential challenges with defense. Hunter can do some work against it, guards can do some work, but doesn't have a small spell to clear, and this Royal Giant's going to do a ton of damage. Tesla late, has to snowball to move it all back, so the lead moves right back. And I'm surprised he's going offense on the drill. I thought that drill should have been defensive here out of Lucas.
Yeah, you have to give yourself an opportunity. I understand the thought process for Lucas, but it comes down to your 0.3 elixir away from getting the Tesla down.
Left. And the Evo Skeleton Barrel pushing on the left-hand side.
So both of them are going to pop on top of the tower, get in the tower 600 HP worth of damage. A lot to take. Sub going to be able to respond with a zap of his own, but misses a couple of the skellies. Not going to matter too much, but it is going to allow the Little Prince to get a little bit of value. And this actually ended up mattering quite a bit more than I expected.
Kind of a lot. Game number 4 as we enter the final 30 seconds of regulation play. Lucas with an early high rocket on all of that. Wow. He can't cycle the cannon cart in the back pretty much ever, right? Otherwise he'll end up off his wheels, giving a ton of damage. So it does force the fight to take place closer to the bridge.
And right here,
cannon cart connects. Oh my word. Oh wow. And has to do a little fanciness to recover from that, does Lucas, but suddenly, and the Golden Knight connects as well. Lucas has to log, and suddenly, Sub has turned a disadvantage into a potential steal and a second finals appearance here in a monthly.
Oh, and if he gets the ability off, that could be game. It is Sub! He's gonna do it, loses game number 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, wins them all. Sub with the 3-1 set victory for it.
Well, and I want to call this out too, because it's not just these 2 monthly finals back-to-back where Sub has made the championship match.
And no chip damage. And again, we talk about Sub trying not to be predictable. Again, he uses bait in game number 1.
And the same variant too. He's not changing things up. So just likes this as game 1 for his BO5s. And first graveyard push in for Mohamed. And the Dark Goblin does finally step into the poison. Spears will add a little bit more to it, and that's a pretty significant chunk of damage, plus a swing from the Barbarian.
That he could, and right there, that was necessary. Protects his Goblin Hut. And an absolute beauty of a defense and a beauty of an offense, just putting on a clinic like we're just used to at this point. Which will be fine. You're going to get a couple chip shots, but Mohamed Light just a little too early on his prediction of the Goblin Barrel coming down.
Into the right-hand side. Dark Goblin just hanging out too far away from Mohamed Light to get any value. Now Poison will come out late. And look at that Skeleton working on the left-hand lane as well. Doesn't matter. Right-hand lane done. Mohamed Light wins game number 1.
Going to be interesting to see as this game goes along if the lack of tank is going to end up hurting him or allowing him to cycle quickly enough to win.
Well, I mean, what kind of role is the Evo XALee going to play?
It's still going to get value. This is kind of a nightmare scenario for an Evo XALee deck.
All that gets brought back. Zap trying to slow things down. I like the thought from Mohamed Light of trying to push through with the...
Are just so unbelievably powerful. The Ghost goes invisible. That allows the Goblin Demolisher to lock onto the XALee. And another Goblin Demolisher trying to take it out. Wow, these XALees just not getting any value whatsoever.
Evo Snowball to roll all of it back. Drill puts the discussion over back on Sub's side, and Sub just gonna kind of slowly bleed. Mohamed Light, patient as always, and now 1 win away from what we expect to say is Mohamed Light with the golden ticket.
Yeah, I mean, just gorgeous offense, gorgeous defense.
Which is the field. Log to clear, doesn't do much. Little Prince going to take the Firecracker off the board. Rocket to clear the Tesla. No combination, though. Mohamed Light not able to get enough elixir to get the Guardian out in front of the...
Different things, but I think it's got to do something with Firecracker chip damage. I just don't know how you do that. It's just such perfect defense coming from Mohamed Light every time.
Clear off the board. So as we go into sudden death overtime, Mohamed Light plenty of elixir and just already playing the rocket cycle game.
Yeah, pretty shocking with all those troops coming down the field, still thinking that it was okay for him to use the rocket like this. And he's going to defend with the rocket as well. With the Earthquake, that might get a second shot, but no, only gets one shot from the Firecracker.
18-17, 15-55. Miner to the back. Guards get their shields ripped off. And forcing Sub to play the right lane. This is the thing that Mohamed Light really is going to like here. And he is just ripping these rockets onto tower.
Yeah, no regard for anything besides just getting as much chip damage as he possibly can. Valk not going to be able to bring over the Firecracker, so the Firecracker is going to get a little bit of...
The number of different defenses he has, he'll have something here. He'll have Tesla for this one. Yep, Evo Tesla up high, able to rocket cycle. And this is just absolute shutdown city because of the wide variety of options he has. The victory rocket, and Mohamed Light does it once again. Yet another monthly final, yet another golden ticket for the Pharaoh, two-time world champion and owner of a very, very nice-looking cat.
Yeah, congratulations to Mohamed Light. 3-0 on the day. Has to feel just incredible with his gameplay. I mean, we saw the win rate at the beginning of the day showing 93.75. Did it improve? I think he lost one, won 8. No, so I think it would have gone down in that scenario to only 92%. It is incredible what he's able to do. How quickly he recognizes every single matchup and what you're supposed to do in those scenarios. We saw it in this.
Now Ian77 and Mohamed Light both locked in, and as you can see on screen,
you know, if we had a sandbox mode inside of Clash Royale and you were allowed to pause and then rewind and try and figure out the best placement, 75% of the time that you would have a sandbox mode, it's just following what Mohamed Light does. He gets the exact tile placement, he gets the exact timing down every time without fail, and it is...
near the end. Josh, it's been a blast, but it's time for us to wrap up this show. Big thanks to you. Excited to be back in the booth with you as well. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes making the CALALAS Cup happen. I know we have these community events, and it's a different team putting on each one of these monthly finals, and the CALALAS team has done a phenomenal job with this one. So big thanks to everyone there, especially Clint running the show in the background. Appreciate you. And, of course, thanks to everyone at Supercell and the Clash Royale team for making CRL possible. That's it for today. That's Joshua Sharon. I'm Rich Slayton. We'll see you here next month for more Clash Royale League.